boo. Boo-doo, boo-doo, boo, boo. Boo-doo, boo, boo. Okay, so looks like we're all set. Let's go. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to my stream. I'm Pierre, your host. I hope you're all doing great today. I know that I am. So, my friends, let's start off like we always do. Let's go over to the computer. Let's check out quickly what we did yesterday, and then we'll tackle our day from there. So, what did we do yesterday? Well, we started off our day by adding the shadows that we had started on this painting last Friday. And then basically the rest of the day we added some color to our plants, hoping to put only one coat of this light pea green. And then finally at the end of the day, we added some shadowing to our green frame. So that is basically what we did yesterday. So what are we going to do today? Well, I'm going to start off first of all by putting in some yellow on the eyes of our main characters. Then I'm going to put a second coat of green paint. And the reason why, let me show you right away why. I'm just going to grab a camera number 1 here. I'm going to zoom in on pretty much any one of these plants. There we go. So let me show you right here. If you check it out, you can see a lot of the brush strokes show right through. And to be honest, I was hoping maybe it would make some nice special effects on these plants. But in fact, if you're standing here in front of the canvas the way I am, it looks pretty shitty. So obviously, it's going to have to take a second coat of this pea green. So we'll put a second coat on these guys on the left-hand side. Then I'm going to do the outline to our main characters in black. And then we'll finish with the green second coat on the right-hand side of our canvas. So that is basically what we are going to do today. And I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to grab my yellow paint right away. Just put a little bit, because there's not very much of a surface to paint. Just a little bit of this beautiful yellow azo. And we will color in the eyeballs to our main characters. There you go. Oh, let me clean off my knife. We'll need that in a few minutes to mix the green paint. Let me just grab my chair as well. I might as well bring there we go. Bring the camera number 1 and put that into place and grab a little brush. So, just need a really teeny little brush. I guess this one will do fine. There we go. Put that, wet that. There we go. Let me just get rid of the excess water. Here's my palette. Just going to step back and check it out. Very good. So, let's go to camera number 1 and let's fill in these eyes here. Just like that. I don't think this was the right brush, but I guess it doesn't matter. We have very little to paint. So I say it doesn't matter, but in fact, I'm putting this on awfully thick. Very thick here, and that's not really what I want to do. I want this to dry relatively quickly as well. Okay, let's do it like that. And let's get this guy's eye done as well. Might need a second coat, which I will do either, yeah, probably tomorrow. There we go. Let me see if I can just squeeze in just a little bit here. Just like that. Okay, so we got that done. So now what? Now what? Now we have to make some green. Again, some of this pea green, which is basically regular green that I'm going to add some yellow to. So if I recall from yesterday, it didn't take much of the green to overwhelm the yellow. So I'm going to be careful and put the yellow over to the side and just bring in the green little by little, carefully. There we go. So I'm going to still use my favorite yellow, which is this Azo yellow. And so I'm going to do this in 2 steps, so I don't need all that much. This should be sufficient. Okay, I'll mix this with you guys on camera number 1 in just a few seconds. Let me get this out of the way. Like usual, let me clean off my knife. Like that, next time I need it, I won't have to think about getting paint all mixed in the wrong jars and whatever. Everything nice and tidy. There we go. And let's figure out what brush, what did I use yesterday? I might have used this brush. I'm pretty sure I used this brush. I'm not certain, but pretty sure. So let me just pull camera number 1 back here. And we will mix in the paint together. I'll just switch over right now. There we go. So there we have our yellow. Obviously, right here I have that green. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of the green, bring it in there. And let's mix this, and then if I need a little more, which I'm probably sure I will bring more green in. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to mix all this first. Make sure it's nice and homogeneous. As you can see, the more I mix it, the darker it gets. So this green does overwhelm the yellow quite a bit. Still getting darker. I still haven't added any more of this green paint. Let me just add some water because it is really very thick. And since this is the second coat, I don't need it to be that thick. All I really want to do is just basically hide the brush strokes from our first coat. So that looks pretty good. How is that? It looks slightly thick. So let me see if I can't just add some more water, just so the paint flows on the canvas nicely. There we go, that looks pretty good. So let's bring the camera up, just like that. Let's zoom in to our first plant. I would say right there. Maybe I can even get both of them in the, well, no, because I have to move the camera over. Otherwise, I'm going to be right in the way, which is something I do not like to do. So let's start off like that. And I guess I can just sit down and get to work. So let's do that. This is going to be quite a bit lighter. As it dries, it will darken. There we go. Very nice. Again, this is just kind of like the background. Because on top of this, we will have the details and then the black outline as well. So as you can see, it's quite a bit lighter. And that is not a problem at all. There we go. Unfortunately, the days where I could have the fan on for the paint to dry quicker are gone. It is kind of cool. Even today on the studio, it's kind of cool. Yesterday, I put on my apron because it was still kind of chilly. But it's still very warm and beautiful out here in Nice, France. We're outdoors in the sunlight. It's really toasty still. No one's complaining, I'm sure. Quite a few people at the beach too. Mostly local folks because all the tourists are gone. A lot of tourists in September still, but then as soon as you get to October, of course, most people go back home and get back to work. So we kind of have the beaches all to ourselves. in August, which is kind of, I mean, in August, in October. Yeah, in August, forget it. It's wall to wall people at the beach. And in some areas, I'm changing the subject, getting back to the painting. I notice in some areas, I can see through the first coat of paint, and it's really making a very nice effect. I'm sure on the camera it will not show, but when you're standing in front of the painting, these will add little shadows, little effects that I was hoping the paintbrush strokes would have done from yesterday, which it didn't work out that way, unfortunately. But with the second coat, I have a feeling it will work out that way. Well, that's pretty cool. Always trying to keep my brush strokes in the way that I want the movement to be. Oh, oops. Not a reason to get sloppy though. There we go. Just like that. And I am going to switch all the way over to this last side right here because I am going to have to make some more paint. I'm not sure I'll quite find the same tint as what I have on my palette right now. So just to make sure that everything is nice and varied and that we can, this will be a reminder of the other side. So there we go. Okay, very good. So that done, we are now going to go back and concentrate on our main subjects right here. Just get the camera ready for that. And I will get some black paint together to do the outline, and then eventually we will come back and fill in, fix whatever is wrong. So I guess I could use the cap here as a palette, can I? Yeah, I guess I can. So let's get the knife. Again, I'm not going to need all that much. Go. There, this black paint is kind of thick. Definitely going to want to water that down. And I'm going to need a tiny little brush for what we're about to do, but I'm going to use a wider brush just to get the black paint to be the right consistency, the right texture that we need. I want it to be kind of like ink, so it just flows on very nicely on the canvas, but at the same time, I don't want it to be too liquid because I want to keep the opacity to its maximum. So let me just work this. I'm not going to do this on the camera because it's black on a black background. It won't really show, not that interesting. Just adding water to the paint and just working it. Well, how's everything going on our broadcast? No problems, I guess. All right, streaming at 44 to 48K per second, which is just fine. No drop frames. So this is still extremely thick. No big deal, just going to work this, take the time. This is going to be kind of tedious, so I am going to take my time and make sure the paint is exactly the texture that I want it to be. It's getting there. Nice and creamy. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay. Now, if I had larger distances to do, I would make this maybe a little bit thinner. But since everything is awfully small right there, I think this will do just fine. Now, the most important is finding the right brush. And I have quite a bit of really tiny brushes that I've never really used. They're all brand new in anticipation for something like what we're going to do right now. But the bad part about that is that I don't know how they're going to react as I'm actually painting. So I have several sizes right here, and I'm going to check these out. Now, 2 of these looks like I have used in the past, 3 of these. So, God, these almost look like the same size, don't they? They all say the same thing, 3/0. 3/0, and this one is 0000. This guy here has so much paint on it, I can't even see what it says. Not that it matters because I just look at them and that's how I judge. So what should I do here? Use this one, that one. So I have these 2, I think are going to be my main candidates. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm going to try one of these. And I'm going to try this one first. So let me wet this one. Let me wet them all here, actually. There we go. Okay, so let's go for it. Let's go for it. Okay. Ah, fuck. I put my hand in the yellow paint from the eyeballs, as you can see, because it wasn't completely dry. And as you know, yellow and blue make it green. Whole thing is change colors, god damn it. And then beyond that, my rag, which had black paint, as you can see down below right here, I put a bunch of black paint all over the friggin' place from my rag. So this whole thing is turning not really the way I wanted to. Let's get rid of all this. Fortunately, with acrylic paint, if you catch it quick enough, just put some water, it all goes away. So, fuck. Anyways, let's get back to work. Hopefully no more catastrophes. All right. Oh putain, c'est pas possible. Okay, let me get that smaller brush now. Okay, so I see there's going to have to be some fixing to do, and that's no big deal. Okay, so that is great. I forgot to bring the camera back up. Oh, jeez. So, sorry about that, folks. Guess I'm just concentrating and not really paying attention to my movie here, or filming, or streaming. And I apologize for that. So, as I step back, I look at all this, I see a few things obviously that need fixing, which is what I'm going to do right now. Oops. have to go over where I put my hand in the paint and it became green. Go. I have this song in my head from the disco days, and I don't know who sang it or the name of it. Just driving me crazy. I don't know the words either, or not all of them. I'm not worried about the bottom part all here because all this is going to be, all that is going to be, there are going to be leaves covering the bottom part of this painting. So I am not too worried about all that. Okay. Go. Oh, a lot of this has to be fixed, but I can't do it now while the paint is wet. I am going to have to basically wait and come back later. I do want to just do a few things right now, though. Okay. Okay, I think for right now, I cannot do much more. So I am just going to leave it like that until it dries. Then we can come back, add more of that yellow on the eyeball. I'm going to have to make a little bit of purple as well to catch the mountain and yeah. Yep. Okay, I just see a little bit more that I have to do right now, though. So let me just get back in here just for a few seconds. There we go. I'm just going to leave that like that for now. I will, well, I keep saying that and I see more things that I need to fix, so I am just going to continue and do things. You got to do them when you see them. I'm going to just add a little more this cerulean blue, but I'm going to make it a little bit lighter. I need some of the light blue now. I didn't think I was going to do this right this minute. I thought I'd wait for everything to dry, but for some reason I am impatient. I am just going to do this right now, since I have all the blues and the bright brushes out. So let me get back into this now. Gotta make this a little bit darker. Just a little bit darker so it blends in well. I know it will darken as it dries, so I kind of just have to figure it out in such a way that all these areas are so small that I need to really kind of concentrate. That's why I'm not talking. I know that most of this is going to be covered up, but I can't help myself. I have to paint what I see. Okay, I have to step back. Okay. Sometimes your nose is so close to what you're doing that you can't see anymore. Important to step back. That's what I just did. Didn't think I was going to spend so much time on this. honest with you. Honestly, I had no choice. There we go. I don't know why I'm wasting so much time. I guess it's just my need to make things all right. And here I am going into the purples now. I just want to add a tad of just a little bit of purple. Ah la 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 la. Okay, very good, very good. Okay. Lord o' mercy. So, we're going to let that dry. I will add some more yellow to the eyeball a little later. What I'm going to do right now, though, is make some more of this green, pea green that we were using earlier and finish off my plants. That's what I'm going to do. So I have plenty of green. What do I need? I need my yellow. There we go. So we're going to do this very quickly because I do have an appointment with my gallery. Okay, a little later, but still. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for my faithful knife so I can scoop up the yellow paint. And oddly enough, my knife is not where it should be. Oh, that is because I put it here. That's why. Okay, no big deal. So let's scoop up more of this yellow azo paint. And let's finish off our plants. Tu t'en vas? T'as maigré au moins 10 kilos aujourd'hui.
Ouais,
hein.
là, j'ai un coup de pompe.
T'as intérêt de bouffer.
Parce que j'ai pas arrêté depuis ce matin.
Ouais.
Ce matin, je fais des trucs à la maison.
Ben oui, je sais.
Livré.
Monter, descendre. Oh là là, punaise, tu dois être claqué là.
Là, je sens.
Ouais.
Tu vois
En plus, tu rentres à vélo là, punaise. Oh. Aïe, 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 aïe. T'es une guerrière.
Yes.
Ben, repose-toi bien en tout cas.
Demain,
Ça marche. Ciao Claudine. Tu as été en tram finalement?
non, je suis allée à pied.
Oh là 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 là. Bon. Ciao, ciao. Ah, très bien. So, That was my friend Claudine, who has a studio upstairs. And she had to take some heavy stuff. So, let me get my chair out of the way. Let me pull this camera back here. And let's mix this paint together. So let me just come back to camera number 1. There we go. So here's the yellow or green. And I'm just going to mix up what we have here first. If you remember the first part of this stream, we noticed that the green overwhelmed very quickly the yellow. So let's do all this together. I'm going to move this back a little bit right here because I do have my jar of water here on my bar stool. There we go. So we noticed earlier that the yellow or green or pea green was a lot lighter than our first coat. So maybe I might just add a little bit more. It doesn't exactly matter if it matches or not the rest. There you can see how quickly it darkens. The green overwhelms this yellow so quickly. I love this green. Many people don't like it for some odd reason. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful kind of a pea green. Whatever. So this is nice and creamy here. Is it too thick? I wonder. Maybe just a tad too thick. So let's just add a little bit more water. Make sure everything is mixed in. There we go. So let's bring this over again down here. Let's focus on our plants. So we have this to do, this, and this. These 4 plants to do. I see what we did earlier right here. It's drying. And with the green from yesterday and this lighter on top, it is making some special effects, like I had mentioned earlier, which look quite nice, actually. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So let me just zoom in a little bit more. We'll tackle the spider plant first, I guess, right down here. And let's do this. This is lighter as well. There's going to be the black outline. That's why the edges don't have to be totally perfect. And that's what we will probably do tomorrow, so that it has time to dry, and then we can add the first coat to our leaves that will go all the way around our painting. Just on the bottom part, of course. There we go, right there. Of quite a bit lighter. Absolutely does not matter. So, am I going to be able to do this without getting my hands and screwing up our main characters here by putting my hand in the paint? We'll see. Should be able to do that. What we're trying to do is just get rid of the brush strokes that look pretty awful yesterday. All right, so far, so good. There we go. On to this guy. Good. Right. Very good. So, I'll just move my chair over, move the camera over a little bit. All we have is these last two guys to do, the spider plant and the one above it, which we will do first. First, I want to correct something back here. It's off camera, but there we go. Okay. Okay, it's going to be interesting to see what all this looks like tomorrow when it's dry. Of course, when I do my recaps and put them on Instagram, I don't talk, I don't put any sound. So most people are probably wondering, what the hell is he putting one coat of green on top of the other? Hopefully they can figure it out. Okay, so what does that all look like? That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. And this here that we did earlier with the darker green from yesterday and this lighter yellow green on top of it, as it's drying, really is giving a very nice kind of blend shade to this whole thing, which I didn't really do on purpose, but which looks like it's going to work out to be quite beautiful. So we kind of lucked out on that as well. Let me pull this back. Let me pull, where are we here? Okay, camera number 2. Let me pull camera number 1 back as well then. Just like that. So, let me take a look. Okay, you know what? Before we call it quits today, I am just going to very quickly go and add a little bit of that yellow to the child's eyeball there. There you go, just a little bit. Like that, I don't have to do it tomorrow. There we go. Just took a split second. Kind of made all the difference for me. Okay, very good, very good. So, this is where we are at. I will move out of the way. That is our painting viewed from camera number 2. Here's camera number 1 with more or less a close-up of what we did. And that brings us to the conclusion of today's stream. 1 hour and 17 minutes. Shush. Feels really like a half an hour. Unbelievable how quickly time flies. Anyways, my friends, I want to thank you very much for joining me. I hope as well you join me tomorrow as we continue this puzzle. What are we going to do tomorrow? That is a good question. Well, we said we'll probably do some outlines of our plants, maybe details and then outlines. And then maybe start working on our frame, give it time for that to dry. And then eventually we will put the white background to our leaves that I would like to have as a foreground. And then of course on the top up here, there is going to be one of my satellite hearts at one point or another. So that is how this painting is going to develop. Anyways, once again, my friends, I want to thank you very much for joining me. I hope you'll join me tomorrow. I'm going to leave you like usual with two things. The first one is my very simple schedule. And the second one is by saying, ciao mes amis.